Welcome to Riot Rumble. I'm your host Justin. With me as always my co-host Dan, and we have a lot to talk about today as we just came fresh off of WWE's King and Queen of the Ring PLE live from Saudi Arabia. So Dan, what a wrestling weekend. It was pretty exciting, I can't lie.
Yep.
Just to give everyone a refresh, we'll start on Friday with Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
That also took place in Saudi Arabia, which was just setting up the King and Queen of the Ring. So we made some predictions last episode.
Yep.
And for the men's, it was Randy Orton defeating Tama Tonga to advance to the finals.
We got one right.
Let's go, big W. And then also we had Nia Jax defeating Bianca Belair in the semifinals as well, sending her to the PLE.
And I think we did say Nia.
I think we did, yeah.
Two for two.
You know, we started off hot.
Perfect.
Really good right there.
Heading into the main event, and we're 100.
Yeah. So that being said, let's just jump straight into the PLE. So there's a lot of great quality matches here. I was really impressed with the whole show, to be honest. A little bit of ups, a little bit of downs, but overall I think it was a solid show.
Some controversies.
Definitely some controversy in there for sure. So what started us off, it was actually, a match that we were both looking forward to, as it was Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
So this was definitely a talking point for sure.
Liv Morgan doing her best Britney Spears impersonation.
Yeah, no, I noticed that too. And it was a match. I liked the story, honestly, more than I did the actual match. I didn't think it was like a 5-star, anything to write home about. But there was definitely some good things about it, as we did see, a bit of an interference, if you will, as Dominic Mysterio of the Judgment Day was trying to help Becky Lynch win by assisting her with the steel chair.
So leading up to this, obviously, we were wondering, is Dom going to help Liv, or what is going on? There was so much weird stuff going on there. And obviously Dom flew in and said, I'm here to make sure you don't take Rhea Ripley's title. And that backfired.
Yeah, so Becky Lynch, being the babyface that she is, did not know what to do with the chair, and next thing we knew, Liv Morgan was pulling up and DDTing her.
Yep. Right on the chair.
It was just right on that chair, and she got the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, she hit an Oblivion and
new champion. This is pretty peak, because we were saying for weeks now that we think Liv Morgan should get the title.
Yep.
And I honestly forgot that the new title belt for the women looks so good.
Yeah,
like when
nice
I was getting this screenshot, I was like, dude, this is a great photo. New women's world champion Liv Morgan. So
revenge tour complete.
It's officially complete. This is awesome. Now for me, I have to be satisfied, if I'm gonna be honest with you. We were talking about this, we both wanted Liv Morgan to win, and she finally gets her title.
But the twist, immediately following the match, Becky Lynch demanded a rematch on Raw tonight, I believe, saying that she has a rematch clause in her contract.
Yep.
Seriously.
Becky Lynch pulling her weight there.
Yeah.
Maybe this is why she's called Becky Hogan. Maybe this is why. But I will say that the match itself, to me, didn't really live up to the hype, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think, neither of these women's fault, but I don't think there was as much hype and anticipation, because I think it's down the line of Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan. That's the real story. But I did like the Judgment Day part. I thought that, that kind of got me off my seat. The DDT was ruthless. Then, like you said, followed by an Oblivion, which was awesome. So I think the ending really made up for the actual match.
Yeah.
And I think tonight, if Becky Lynch somehow wins, then I'm done. Liv Morgan has to hold the title.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the storyline has been better than the match, but we'll have to wait and see what happens tonight. Liv's going to get her moment in the spotlight, and then we'll see if they have a rematch tonight or if they wait maybe a couple of weeks. But she was pretty adamant that she wanted it now.
Yeah, it'll be awesome, and I love to see the emotions after. She was like crying and stuff. And I'm happy she won. So it was good. I feel like it started off well, and then we got into another banger after this, as we got the triple threat match for the IC title, as we saw Chad Gable and Bronson Reed trying to get the belt from Sami Zayn there. And oh man, this screenshot just sums up the match. Like, what a match
this match was absolute chaos. Before the match starting, though, Chad Gable getting the Kurt Angle treatment with the "You suck" chant. Unbelievable. Like this, awesome. Just everything about this match was just absolutely over the top.
I think for me, this lived up to it and more. I was like off my seat, wasn't even on my phone. I just watched this whole match through and through. And I thought that both Bronson Reed and Chad Gable were really good challengers for the belt. I thought that, either of these men could walk out as and new and I'd be okay. Obviously, I wanted Chad Gable to win. But, just on that note, what ended up happening with Chad Gable?
So first, did you see Chad Gable's double German suplex?
Yes.
Lifting both of his opponents over 500 pounds.
It was nuts.
He's the smallest guy in the ring. That's insane.
Yeah, I was trying to find a good clip or screenshot, but it was too soon. But it was impressive. I was so shocked he was able to do that.
And then last week we talked about Otis on the official bill of the title, and we're like, how is he going to factor in, and how did he factor in?
Yeah, so Otis, he had a plan.
Yep.
Chad Gable said, make sure you follow through with the plan. And the plan was to pull the trigger on Sammy, and he just couldn't do it. And Chad slapped him. He was like, come on, what did we talk about? This is your time. You got to do it. I was rooting for him. And next thing we knew, he's kicking Chad Gable down. He clotheslined him. He missed hitting down Sammy. And as you see here, just the instant regret.
Clothesline takes him out. But I'm not sure, like, kind of he's like, oh no, what did I do? I'm in trouble. But I think there's almost like a sense of relief on his face, because I think he's had enough of Chad bullying him.
Yeah, it was interesting because I honestly thought that he was going to follow through with the plan. And I guess technically he did, but he just missed. But I can't believe he didn't necessarily cost him the match. I thought it would have been an instance of like, you know what, he's going to just interfere in the match and make sure he doesn't win. I didn't think he was going to actually do it and then just miss the clothesline. It's the most Otis thing ever. I feel so bad. But then this led to the finish where we saw
Sami Zayn right into the ring, hit a hell of a kick on Reed and scored the pinfall for the win.
Yep, 1, 2, 3. So he retains the title. He's hoisting it up in front of the Saudi crowd. And honestly, man, like, I love Sami Zayn. I
Canadian.
know, yep, he is. And I know for the past like couple weeks, couple PLEs, I've been hating on him in the sense of like, I don't want him to be the champ. I want it to be Chad Gable. But as soon as it was 1, 2, 3 and Sammy's music hits and he got that ovation, I couldn't just help but smile. You know, the Canadian boy.
Can we get a new Intercontinental Champion belt? Does that one not look like worn out?
Yeah,
and like faded and not nearly as good as that women's belt.
Yeah, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it was actually Sami Zayn who introduced that title.
Ooh.
So they had the old one, which Cody Rhodes introduced, and then when Cody started popping off, they changed it. So Shinsuke Nakamura won the belt, who Sami Zayn was the manager of at the time, and he actually brought in that new title. So
let's go back to the old one.
Yeah, it is. For me, I do call it the Sami Zayn belt because now he's had it a couple of times.
He's on a run right now.
He is.
He's just win. Taking a beating, not getting hurt. I don't know how he's not hurt every week.
Yeah, he's such a workhorse. And you know what? Like I said, whenever he gets that win and you hear that theme song and the ovation, you just can't help but smile. I'm really happy that he was able to have that moment. I think this kind of lines up probably a Chad Gable rematch one-on-one because Chad Gable did beat him. You know, he did have help from Otis, but he didn't get a pinfall. So do you think Sami Zayn will drop the title sooner, or does this win really propel this championship run to be something to remember?
He seems like he's going on a bit of a run here, and like he might not be beat. I do want to see what happens with Chad Gable next, and with Otis. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I think after the match really summed it up when Otis was like, he just didn't really know what to say or do, and Gable just staring him down. He's like, no, it's done. So I thought that was pretty funny. But I think we gotta start having the discussion of the new Alpha Academy because is Otis's time running out?
Otis's time looks like it's running out. Maybe he'll hook up with Sami Zayn.
Yep, that could be it. You know what? Could be like that nice muscle that he needs.
And when are we gonna get Kurt Angle?
I know we need him. We need Kurt Angle. Like you mentioned, he got the "You Suck" chance. Kurt Angle wants to be the manager, like you also said last week, and it's just a matter of time. I feel like we could see a faction of Chad Gable with the Creed brothers and maybe Kurt Angle like as the manager. I would absolutely love that, but only time will tell. For now, Sami Zayn retains the Intercontinental Championship, and I guess he could leave a happy man.
Absolutely. On to the Queen of the Ring finals. Nia Jax, Lyra Valkyria.
Yes, this was well, just on paper, this is like a David versus Goliath kind of match, to be honest. Now, I said on our last Wednesday show that I thought Lyra Valkyria is going to get the win.
Yep,
the underdog.
We both did think.
Yep. And unfortunately, that did not happen for her. She put up a great fight.
She looked great.
She looked really awesome.
Wicked entrance.
And she just has that presence. You know, she has that aura. And I thought as soon as Becky Lynch lost her title, all hopes for me, because I thought Lyra was going to maybe fight Becky Lynch if that lined up. But I thought it was done. But Nia Jax, she's just been on an incredible run since coming back, was able to hit a crazy finisher. The way she
Annihilator?
The Annihilator off the top rope. It was nuts.
And the way she sat, I think we have a photo of that too. Unbelievable. Is she the new final boss?
Oh, man.
Or is she going to become the final boss?
I mean, currently in the bloodline, she's the most successful right now, being the official Queen of the Ring. And you know what? fair play to her, because she's got a lot of stick and hate over the last like 4 or 5 years. She's been in and out of the company, and now she's coming back as that like irresistible force, you know, knocking off Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Lyra Valkyria to win. I don't know if there's something that could top that. Like, that is a crazy run to have. She actually took on Naomi in the first round as well, so just those names, like, insane.
Massive.
So what a run for her.
Queen Naya.
I'm happy for her, man. You know, she got a lot of hate before, and like she was very memed, to say the least. But at the end of the day, she is bloodline, you know.
And she was booed after that fight. When she was crowned, she was booed. So
But
Naya will go on to SummerSlam to challenge for the women's championship.
yes.
And we don't know who that will be. Is that going to be Liv? Is it going to be Becky?
Well, it's because she's on SmackDown, though, it could be Bailey, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she takes on Bailey.
Yep.
But the cool thing about this, too, is that we don't know yet if it's limited to the rosters, because maybe like Becky Lynch or Rhea Ripley or Liv Morgan is the fight to make, and she's like, no, I want the very best. So it could be interesting. Fair play to Lyra Valkyria.
Triple H's face in that photo. He was kind of like, I don't know what he was thinking there. He's like,
Yeah, you can kind of see it. She's like through the
maybe it was the crowd booing that kind of threw him off.
I think with her, though, because she's such a great heel, to where it's like that's almost the reception that you want. Fair play to Lyra. You know, we'll give her her flowers. Her first PLE match since coming up to the main roster, had a great showing. I wonder where she goes from here, though, in the sense of like she's that NXT talent. She got the push in comparison to like maybe Carmelo Hayes or Braun Breaker. She actually got to the PLE, got to fight, came up short. I don't think this buries her, though. I think she's just going to even propel to the top even more.
I think she's just starting out, coming in. So
it was good. But then the next match we'll move on to now was the men's side of things. This is the talking point.
This is the drama, the controversy.
Man. So it was Gunther versus Randy Orton, the match that we
last week we predicted Randy Orton to be victorious.
What a match! First of all, this was a really good match.
Great match.
Lasted about half an hour too. And just this photo really just sums up Gunther's run. He's just been tapping people out, menacing. The referee looks so concerned too as he's
Eldon
targeting.
did too. When Eldon saw this photo, he asked me, "Is he gonna bite him?" And I think he almost did. I think we were close to getting a bite.
Oh my god, yeah. It was a rough match. And you know, I liked when they were trading blows, going back and forth. You saw the uppercuts, the chops, the this, the that. And it seemed like and Corey Graves even said this too, it was like a dream match. These guys have never fought before, and now they're fighting for the King of the Ring at a PLE. Doesn't get much better than that. But unfortunately, you know, with all good things, there has to be some controversy. So what happened?
I think Randy must have been injured. You know, he landed that RKO earlier in the match. It hurt back. He left too long of time to go, and Gunther rolled away. But he hits an RKO here. He almost gets the pin. Gunther rolls him over, and look at that shoulder.
Yes. Unfortunately for Randy, this was a 1-2-3.
Yeah.
Ring the bell. But as you clearly see here, that right shoulder is clearly off the mat. I don't understand why this wasn't called back, because the referee is actually right there.
Yeah, the referee's right in front of Randy. He saw it. It was a fast tap too. It was like boom, boom, boom.
I don't know, man. I feel very, very hard done by as a Randy Orton fan. Didn't expect this.
One rematch.
You know, if he lost fair and square, who cares, right? He put up a fight, but he just hits the dangerous RKO. 1-2 kick out, and then 1-2-3. But there was no shoulder down. I don't know how to feel.
How do you get RKO'd, tap or roll out of it, and then flip a guy that big? I don't even know. Gunther, he's vicious.
He's something else. I think with Gunther specifically, we're talking about like a generational kind of wrestler. In my years of watching wrestling, I can't recall someone being this dominant and technically gifted in the ring. It's something you don't really see, and you can't really fathom, if you will. You know, we were breaking it down yesterday at my house, and we were like, since he's been in the WWE, he's lost to Ilya Dragunov, he's lost to Braun Breaker, and he's lost to Sami Zayn. Those are only 3 people, not even Randy Orton who beat him.
That's crazy.
So he's now in line to get a championship match at SummerSlam, which we will get to. But before we do, Triple H actually addressed this controversy.
Yeah, so Triple H addresses the controversy, said he saw what we saw, wasn't playing with us, and he said Randy will get a rematch. He said that both men will probably want to fight this one out again, just to make sure that there's no controversy, no asterisks on it. But Randy Orton is injured. Obviously some back problems, knee problems from the bloodline battle going on for the last 4 weeks. So we don't know when we're going to see it. We don't know if we'll see after Gunther takes on a title shot here, but yeah, not a way you want to see the match end.
Especially because of how great this tournament was. We saw some great matches such as Gunther versus Jey Uso.
Yep.
We even saw Randy versus Carmelo Hayes. LA Knight Tama Tonga was good as well. So overall, the King of the Ring, to me, was the perfect tournament until it wasn't at the very end. So disappointing ending to what was a fabulous tournament. So
Absolutely.
We'll definitely come back to this and make some predictions about who Gunther could take on. Before we do have the main event of the evening. And it was Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, versus the Maverick Logan Paul.
No prime.
What a match, I will say.
This was a great match. I think it was around 25 or 27 minutes and just back and forth. Logan Paul looked unbelievable. His boxing skills, some of the moves he was pulling some of Cody's own moves on him.
Yeah, he hit him with the crossroads.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. When this match started, my brothers, they're not big Logan Paul fans at all. They were like, "Oh man, Logan cannot win this." But by the time it was done, they were like, "Logan Paul is a fitting champion."
Yeah.
He put up one great fight, and it was something that I could just, I guess drop everything and just clap my hands. He has been so impressive, and he's just been taking the sport to a new level, as it was revealed that this whole new drone shot and drone angle was actually Logan Paul's idea. Got some screenshots here. So this drone was actually doing circles as Logan was on the top, all in one shot, by the way. There was no cuts. And then when it finally leveled back up to where it was there on the right, we saw Logan from that angle hit Cody with the frog splash through the announcer table.
So
was
cool.
nuts.
And the tribute to Triple H there on the top buckle when he drinks a drink, spits it out, does the little Triple H nod and jumps. Awesome.
Awesome.
Just unbelievable.
It's like one of those ones where whether you like this guy or you hate this guy, he is a star.
Yeah, when he first came in, I was kind of like, YouTube star, and just like his brother, and like, fake boxer. But his brother can box, and he can wrestle and box too. So,
and I think the cool thing about Logan Paul in the squared circle of sports entertainment versus like the boxing world is that he needs to be a bad guy. He needs to be a heel. There's not going to be no like, oh, I wish like he wouldn't say this about so and so. It's like, no, this is a world where like you could do stuff like that and like make it all your own. You could drink prime and stuff, and it be maybe hated on but respected. And
speaking of bad guy and heel, controversy in this fight as well. He pulls out the brass knuckles. He said he wasn't going to use the brass knuckles. He went on Pat McAfee's show. He gave Pat his knuckles. And he pulls out the knuckles and he punches Cody in the ribs. Yeah.
Oh man, it was awesome. I think that kind of stuff like you love to see, in the sense of like, like you said, everything about him doing that on McAfee's show. He then confiscated the knuckles on SmackDown too, because they were in Jake Paul's pants. I don't know if you caught that, but he's like, I was wearing my brother's pants by mistake.
And then Michael Cole called him a loser.
It was so funny. One of my brothers was like, it seems like this is everyone versus Logan Paul at this point. So it was good, but then unfortunately for Logan, he could not get the best of the American Nightmare, as he was able to hit not only just a Cody cutter on the table, which this is a great photo.
That's unbelievable.
You could see the look
Michael
in
Cole
Logan's
there.
face.
Michael Cole's like, yes, after just calling Logan Paul a loser.
Yeah, and then shortly after, he was able to bring him into the ring and hit him with the crossroads for the win.
Crossroads.
Triple crossroads.
That's the new thing. Apparently,
I know,
one crossroads is no longer enough. You got to hit guys with 3, but look at that. The intensity on Cody's face.
He hits him with the triple, gets the 1, 2, 3, and he walks out as the champion. And it was one of those fights where it was fun. That's the best way to put it. It wasn't this is the greatest thing ever, but in terms of like a Saudi Arabia PLE, that might have been one of the better matches. Logan fought Roman Reigns a couple years ago, which was also pretty good, but man, Logan Paul's stock just keeps going up.
Yeah, and I think we were a little bit disappointed last week when Logan's title wasn't going to be put on the line, but I feel satisfied after this match. I think it was fine. Nice to see Cody retain, and he's going on a bit of a run here too. There he is, looking so sad. So sad but happy. He's crying. He's happy to be the champ, loving life. He's in lots of pain. He takes a beating. Him and Sami Zayn just, I don't know how neither one of them are injured right now, but
yeah, on the topic of Cody Rhodes, so we've now seen him fight AJ Styles and Logan Paul as his first two, rivalry since beating our tribal chief.
Yep.
What is next for Cody for you? Do you want to see anything specific? Because he's not going to fight Logan Paul again. So is there any names that comes to mind?
Well, our good friend Roman Reigns, I heard, just wrapped up filming.
Oh.
And could be making a return. So do we see Roman versus Cody sooner than later? Or do you think that's a SummerSlam thing? Or is that something else?
It's an interesting thing, because I'll tell you what. I feel like if you had said that to me a week after Cody won, to be
Yep.
like, okay, cool, we're gonna get through 2 events and then Roman could come back and fight again, I would say no, that's stupid. But what have we been hearing the last month? It's just we want Roman.
know. People want him back.
I was watching. They did a King of the Ring special on YouTube. I was watching, and legit the comments were just we want Roman.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're gonna come crawling back and be like, Roman, like, you know,
We need you.
We want you to come back for WrestleMania 42, but
Yeah.
now we might need you, or 41, sorry, but now we might need you like now.
Yeah.
So it could be interesting. I don't want to, count the chickens before they hatch, but I'd be lying if I said I don't want Roman back. So
Now, if Roman doesn't come back, what do you think's next for Cody?
I think you look at that SmackDown roster and you look at some of the guys that haven't had an opportunity yet, and I think LA Knight is that number 1 guy.
Yep.
I think LA Knight versus Cody Rhodes intrigues me because I want to see a different kind of LA Knight finally fight for the belt, and I feel like that's might be a heel turn. It could be. I'd personally, I'd really like that. Mello Hayes is another guy to
Yep.
where maybe not necessarily the next match because they did also just fight, but he's eventually going to get his chance. I could see it happening maybe beyond SummerSlam if Cody's still the champ. But I think that one name has to be LA Knight, similar
Yeah.
to Jey Uso. When is he going to get his chance?
Yeah,
and
and
I think this
that,
could be the best time.
That fight after WrestleMania with him and AJ Styles, that was a close match. And
It was, yeah.
I think LA Knight won the match at WrestleMania. AJ Styles won the match after. So I think LA Knight getting a shot, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
So that could be interesting. We'll definitely have to keep tabs on that. And then, so now I do want to just kind of discuss the winners.
Yeah.
So we have Nia Jax and Gunther both officially getting title shots, as
The
we
king
know,
and the
for
queen.
SummerSlam. So Nia Jax, we touched upon it briefly, but is there, just to like kind of reiterate it, is there like any name specifically that you want to see her fight to be like, okay, this is the match I want to make?
I don't know. I almost, after you mentioned like her and the most successful current Bloodline member, I almost would like to see her brought into the Bloodline.
Yeah,
Like I think
honestly.
having a strong female character in the Bloodline makes sense. And I think that would kind of move the Bloodline 2.0 even further ahead because it'd actually be kind of cool to see her fighting for the top.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. And then on that note, the Bloodline is already on SmackDown.
Yep.
She is a SmackDown member. So if she decides to take on Bayley or whoever that champion is, and she's hoisting the belt up at SummerSlam, she
Yep.
is still on SmackDown with her cousins.
Yeah.
So, it is well known that she is The Rock's cousin. Obviously,
Yep.
she's Bloodline related. And I'm with you. I feel like
Yeah.
it would be pretty cool. And it's not like this is Nia Jax of a couple years ago where she was like losing and like, no, not really being on the screen.
Yeah, didn't she
She's
get
prominent.
released
Yeah,
from WWE a couple
legit
years ago?
Got released,
Crazy.
yeah. She's a prominent part of the roster right now. She's winning Queen of the Ring and should win the title. So
Yep.
on a roster that has Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and she's the best and she's beating them all, I feel like she has to get that Bloodline nod. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Maybe I'll cook something for you. Maybe she joins Solo's Bloodline, and then
Yeah.
eventually down the line, when it's Jey Uso and them and Roman back, maybe Jey Uso gets Naomi because
Yep.
they're married. Or sorry, Jimmy Uso gets Naomi, and you got them fighting
Yeah.
again. So that could be interesting too.
And what better for the final boss to have his cousin in there as
Exactly.
an insider, kind of making sure they stay in line or at least feeding information back to the final boss until
there
he
you go.
returns.
Yeah, so that's definitely a talking point. And shifting gears to Gunther now, like we mentioned, he's now has the shot at
Yep.
SummerSlam. But after Gunther was able to win, Triple H did have an announcement to make about Clash of the Castle, that our boy Drew McIntyre is officially back, and Damian Priest is giving him a title shot live from Scotland on June 15th.
Oh, this is gonna
for
be
the
big.
title. This could have huge ramifications. Now, right off the bat, I'm just going to say hats off to Damian Priest because he said it. He's like, I'm giving you the title shot when you're
Yep.
ready. And he stuck to his word. So, fair play from a fighting champion. But Clash at the Castle, run it back. This time it's in Scotland.
Yeah.
So it's in Drew's backyard for the title. I think
gonna
this
be
is
huge.
it.
And
This
it's soon
could be
too.
it.
Like this is just a couple of weeks away.
This could finally be it. We saw McIntyre come up short at Clash of the Castle in Wales when he took on Roman Reigns. That's when everyone's favorite wrestler, Solo Sikoa, debuted and he cost Drew. Now we got it in Scotland, and I think Drew McIntyre has to win the belt.
But do we have an appearance by CM Punk in Scotland?
Oh, man. That's another
And
great
does
point.
Punk keep messing with Drew?
Oh, man. I love CM Punk, you know that, but I don't know how I'd feel about that if he cost him in Scotland. But I'll do you one maybe even better.
CM Punk might not get home.
I know, he might not leave. But do we see the opposite side of the coin, and do we see the Judgment Day cost Damian Priest the match.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for weeks about the Judgment Day and a lot of issues and some drama going on inside. So, yeah,
this could be it.
Yeah, maybe they look to interfere and
they inadvertently cost him. So with that being said, I'm going to predict right off the bat that Drew wins this match. Can you get behind that, obviously, as a Drew McIntyre guy?
I'm a Drew guy.
So we're going with Drew, and I think this has to line up Drew McIntyre versus Gunther at SummerSlam. I think that's the match to make. That's a huge matchup right there.
That's two big men.
I don't know if this is like controversial, but I'm almost more happy that could be the certain play over Cody versus Randy.
Yeah.
Because like that is a massive match. They have so much history, but to do it for the like I guess the #1 belt in the company at SummerSlam, it doesn't get much bigger than that.
I think the role that Gunther's on right now, where he just looks unstoppable, and I think leading up to WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre was on the same role until he got injured. So, yeah.
If that's the match, who do you think's going to come out on top?
I gotta go with Drew.
Okay.
But Gunther's equally up to the task. So
it's hard.
But I'd like to see Drew McIntyre win.
I think for me, that maybe would be the match where I see CM Punk interfering.
Yep.
But whether he does or not, I'm still going to take Gunther. So I guess we're officially on opposite sides on this one. But I love Gunther. I've been watching this guy for years now, and I think this could be his time. But I'd love Drew McIntyre. It sucks that like it would be at McIntyre's expense again, the same way Damian Priest winning was at McIntyre's expense. So we'll see what happens. But all I know is that match is going to be a banger for sure. So I'm glad we were able to discuss the PLE. We'll move on now to just a preview of tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. Yeah. As there are some announcements that they've already made. So the first one here that's kind of making me laugh is that they officially announced that JD McDonough will be taking on Braun Strowman. This is just
it's classic.
From last Raw where Andre the Giant, Braun Strowman came down. And I love this, to be honest, because they tasked JD McDonough to take on Braun
the Giant,
like
the new Giant,
out of all the people. So right off the bat, I'm going to be looking forward to this match tonight. I think it'll be funny. It'll be good vibes. Do you think there's any chance JD walks away with the win?
With interference, yes. If it's just a straight singles match and we don't get someone coming in from the Judgment Day and interfering with this one, then there's no way JD's coming out alive.
Like this
might be the way the match ends tonight. He might just decide to take off.
Yeah, no, legit. I love the Judgment Day. I love seeing Braun Strowman back. I know we touched upon his injury last week, so honestly, just seeing him there means a lot to me as a wrestling fan. So that being said, that'll be pretty interesting. And I know we discussed it earlier, but we do have Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch again, just to talk about this one more time here. Going into it, I really think this should be an easy win for Liv.
Yeah.
But you never know, right? It is the WWE. We have seen crazier things.
It would be dirty to take the title away from her already, considering how much people have been waiting for her to get her revenge and get the title. But it'll be good to see Liv with her appearance tonight. Hopefully she has a little bit of some solo time to do a little talking on the mic, and then hopefully they fight after. Or
yeah, I will obviously never boycott wrestling, but I feel like if Becky Lynch somehow wins, like if Becky wins, we riot, like there's no way, right? So I think Liv Morgan, hot take, she'll probably get the win dirty, though. I don't think she'll get a clean win. I feel like whether it's the JD, whether it's her cheating, something's going to happen just to make something happen. And I think down the line, this is going to set up a total heel run that we want to see from Liv Morgan. But yeah, like I said, there's absolutely no way that Becky Lynch wins. So
and then do you think at SummerSlam we get to see Liv versus Rhea Ripley?
It has to be. That's box office right there. The one thing about women's wrestling since about the mid-2010s is that every year it kind of gets better, in my opinion. I will never say that women's wrestling peaks. It just evolves, the women's evolution. And we've seen triple threat matches, we've seen tag team matches, we've seen main events of WrestleManias, PLEs, their own pay-per-views. I think with all that being said, like hot take, Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley might be like the biggest women's match yet at a SummerSlam.
Absolutely.
One of the main events. I'm excited for that one. So I'm hoping that happens. Who knows? Maybe Liv Morgan gets the unthinkable win over Rhea Ripley, which would be insane.
It'd break Eldon's heart.
Yeah, that'll be good. But before we wrap up the show today, we do have some more fun stuff to talk about. So I was able to attend Ajax Comic-Con this weekend in Ajax, and there was a wrestling legend as Jimmy Hart was there. So
amazing.
I'm there posted up with them. What a great guy. This was awesome to see. I was really nervous to talk to him, and he's like, "What's up, brother? How you doing?" I shook his hand.
His megaphone too.
He's like, God bless you. I love you. And so we're talking for a bit. it. And then so we went to take a photo. He's like, yeah, man, you can hold my megaphone.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, let's go. So it was really cool to meet Jimmy Hart, absolute wrestling legend. We spoke about the Hart Foundation for a bit. And I even said, I'm like, Jimmy, man, like, when are you coming back to WWE? I need you to announce someone in. And he's like, you know what? If they ever need me, they could call me. So it was a great interaction for sure. But yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys. Thought it'd be pretty
So
fun
cool.
there. But yeah, Jimmy Hart, man, I couldn't believe it. I like live in Ajax, so I was like, I can't believe you came to Ajax.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have to come to you. So that was pretty fun overall. But yeah, so I think that's gonna wrap up the show today. Thank you guys again for watching. But there's one more thing I do want to say. Someone celebrated a birthday this weekend. It was the tribal chief's birthday.
Oh, yes.
Actually,
Yeah, I saw that.
gotta acknowledge him. We do miss him. We miss you every day, Roman. I had to make some posts. Eldon did acknowledge him behind the scenes too. So I did make a birthday post. Don't think he saw it, but I did let him know happy birthday is one of my biggest inspirations. So shout out to the tribal chief. But yes, Dan, now that will officially wrap it up for us.
Great weekend of wrestling, and we got more tonight. So
Yeah, thank you again for the episode today. It was always fun, and be sure you guys tune in to Monday Night Raw tonight, and check out our Instagram, Riot_Rumble, as we'll be posting more clips from this episode, and make sure you stay tuned for next week's, as we'll be discussing Raw and SmackDown. So thank you guys for watching. My name is Justin, this is Dan, and I hope you guys have a good rest of the day, and yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.
thank you.